Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name is David, and this is a Magic Review. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. Welcome back to another week of Magic Reviews. Thank you guys so much for being here. I upload every single day, Monday through Friday, and on the weekends, every single day. In fact, today, right now, as we speak, I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida, but that doesn't stop me from getting you content. I give you content no matter what, because this channel is for you. I do this for you. Today, super excited. I've had this deck for, I want to say 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Stevens Magic sent it to me. This is RLT. RLT is short for roulette. That's it. It says roulette right on the front, okay? But it doesn't say roulette. It doesn't say RLT deck, which is how you would buy it, okay? So your customer, or your spectator, your guest, can't go Google roulette deck, okay? This is the RLT deck from John Cottle and Chris Rawlins. Let me just say, I'm developing a bias. I'm developing a bias for Chris Rawlins. I'm sweet on him. What I mean is just about everything he puts out, I keep. Like, you don't ever see Chris Rawlins tricks in my giveaways. Everything he puts out is fantastic. And he's not prolific. He doesn't put out stuff, you know, back to back to back. And everything he puts out is just, it's just a dream. It really is. This is a marked number deck that makes sense. Now, I've had number decks in the past, and they were just a big fat number on the front, right? And you would say like, oh, these are, you know, flashcards. But this is a roulette wheel. And there's even a card inside that tells you how to play. You could play a game with these cards. And Chris has kind of been gravitating towards that, been gravitating towards cards that actually could play a game, right? And so just super excited. I think I've always wanted a number deck that was this good. And I can't say enough good things about it. So rather than me just talk, let me show you the cards. Here's the tuck box, beautifully printed in green and white. It says roulette playing cards, just like you'd expect, right? Nothing extra, nothing weird, right? It says designed in England, made in China. If you think there's some hints or clues or possible cribs on the back of this, you might be right, right? You might be right. But not as tall, profile-wise, as a regular deck of cards. But you don't need to explain this. You just bring this out and say, hey, you know, I was in Vegas or I was at the airport and I picked up this cool deck of cards that you can play roulette with in your pocket. So I thought we could do a magic trick with it. You are going to get how to play roulette. You're also going to get a cut card. You know, honestly, he doesn't have any tricks with the cut card, but he just gives it to you so that you have it. If you already know how to do some tricks with a cut card, or you think that might enhance your gambling style routines, it's there for you. He also has a high-low card. So if you're familiar with roulette, you have those options as well. You also have an odd-even card. Again, made to look like a roulette card deck should. And with these cards, I really just toss them out on the table and kind of leave them out for spectators to see. Don't call attention to them, don't use them, but they're there as provers that the deck is what it is. So you have a black diamond and a red diamond card as well. And then you have two green cards. You have the 00 and the 0, okay? And if you know the roulette wheel, every other card in the deck is black and red. So it's an entire deck of black and red, even and odd cards, right? Which also means if you wanted to do an oil and water type thing, where the cards got separated, or a trick where the spectator separates the entire deck into black and red, you could do that with this deck. Here's the back design. That's really all you want to see. Yes, there's a lot of numbers on the back of each card, but it's made to look like it should. So just poker chips down on a table with a roulette wheel, and this one of those indicators tells you what's on the other side. So for instance, this card right here, I would know that it's 28. I would also know if it's black or red. So just by looking at the corners, I would know if it's black or red. And by looking at the middle, I would know the number. They're good quality, snappy, resistant, high quality playing cards that shuffle well. And they're just nondescript on the face, right? Just numbers in each corner, solid one-way design, odds and evens, black and red, exactly like you'd expect. What about the video? How's the training? Good news, 2 hours. It's an hour and 50 minutes long. You're gonna have John Cottle and Chris Rawlins. They're gonna be in kind of like a static studio environment. They're gonna go back and forth between performing these live for real people in a studio environment, and then cutting back to a table side by side where they explain the tricks to you. They are gonna have an intro and an inspiration and history all at the beginning, and they're gonna show you the marks, and that takes you all the way to the 20-minute mark. And then come the tricks. The first trick is called the bet, which is a simple prediction with no setup. You're literally gonna predict the card that they cut to, and you are right. It's super simple, but it's amazing what a super simple trick can look like and the impact that it can get with a strong deck of cards like this. The second trick is called the wheel. This is where you'll have 2 cards selected and then the totals are added together. And that total that they get is written down on a card that's inside the box. The next trick is called birthday bet. This is one where the spectator makes a bet with the month and day they were born. And you're gonna find their total in the deck. And then there's a trick called number at number. This is where one person thinks of a number and the other person thinks of a card, and then you find it just like any card at any number. So pretty nice selection. And I think even though there's not a ton of teaching, those are 4 solid tricks. They get good reactions from the studio, but then those tricks are strong enough that they can springboard, you can springboard, and just come up with your own stuff. I think that after you watch the tutorial, you'll start coming up with a lot of your favorites, and you'll be surprised how many regular card tricks that you already know that you can do with this deck. So pocket space, you kind of already saw. It's not a full-size deck, but it's deck-sized, so it'll take up the same amount of space in your pocket. But if you're the kind of person that does gambling routines, or you have a casino-based persona, right? This would be a fun deck to pick up. As far as angles and inspectability goes, though, I don't think they would find the marking, at least casually, right? Casual marks. And watch the way they perform in the video. By the time they do the reveal, the cards are gone. They're in a tuck box somewhere, or they're being held by the spectator. Like, you get your glimpse and then you keep going, right? So by the time you do your reveal, they're not even expecting that the cards are marked. There's just no way, because it doesn't look like a magic prop, it looks like a game. So why would they think it would be marked? There's no reason to have any suspect on it at all. As far as how difficult the routines are, they're very easy. John and Chris make these all very entry level. In fact, I think there's a couple where they just do a crisscross force, but you know, you're free to do whatever force you would like. So as far as setup and reset goes, a lot of them are impromptu that you can just do without any sort of setup at all. So that's really great too. So positives, like I said, this is finally the marked deck, the number deck that makes the most sense. This is the one you'll be proud of. This is the one you'll keep in your pocket. Okay. Negatives, there's no. I mean, the video was a little long at the beginning, talking about all the history and the intro. I probably would have put it at the backside because I was just too anxious. I was too impatient. I wanted to see the trick and I wanted to see the marks. But yeah, that's it. A magician could find the marks if they sat there with the cards and just went forward, backward, they would find them, yes. But like I said, if you play your cards right, the spectator should never know they're marked. So big, huge thanks to Stevens Magic Supplies for allowing me to have these so I could do the review for you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, and lastly, I would like to remind you that mine is not the only voice out there. When making a magic purchase, be sure to watch other review channels to get a well-rounded opinion. Please don't take my word for it. I am just one voice. There are plenty of other fantastic review channels out there, and you should be listening to all of them. I've included several of my favorite channels here, but I'm sure you know of a few others. Please do yourself a favor and subscribe and follow these talented people as well, so that you're always making the best purchase possible that fits your style and your character. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.